Well, in your written statement, you say, now is not the time to pull back on masking, physical distancing, and avoiding congregate settings. When is the time? When do Americans get their freedom back?
Congressman Jim Jordan argued with Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's leading infectious disease expert, at a hearing this week over when Americans should be allowed to go back to their normal lives.
When we get the level of infection in this country low enough that it is not a really high threat.
What is low enough? Give me a number. We had 15 days to slow the spread, turned into 1 year of lost liberty. What metrics, what measures, what has to happen before Americans get their freedoms back?
My message, Congressman Jordan, is to get as many people vaccinated as quickly as we possibly can.
What measure? Are we just going to continue this forever, or when do we get to the point? What measure? What standard? What objective outcome do we have to reach before Americans get their liberty and freedoms back?
You know, you're indicating liberty and freedom. I look at it as a public health measure to prevent people from dying and going to the hospital.
You don't think Americans' liberties have been threatened the last year, Dr. Fauci? They've been assaulted. Their liberties have.
I don't look at this as a liberty thing, Congressman Jordan.
Well, that's
I look
obvious.
At this as a public health thing. This will end for sure when we get the level of infection very low.
Over the last year, Americans' First Amendment rights have been completely attacked. Your right to go to church, your right to assemble, your right to petition your government, freedom of the press, freedom of speech have all been assaulted. For a year now, Americans haven't been able to go to church. Even today, when they go to church, they're limited in the size of worshipers who can meet.
You're making this a personal thing, and it isn't.
It's not a personal thing.
No, you are. That is exactly what you're doing.
No, your recommendations carry a lot of weight, Dr. Fauci. We just had the chair of the Financial Services Committee said she loves you and you're the greatest thing in the world.
My recommendations are consistent.
Will the gentleman yield?
No, it's my
Now,
time.
can I answer the question, please? My recommendations are not a personal recommendation. It's based on the CDC guidance.
Fauci has advocated for people to continue wearing their masks and practicing social distancing even after they get vaccinated, which has angered conservatives who want to accelerate a return to the status quo. He said daily infection rates are still too high for him to recommend easing up on restrictions.
When? What are the numbers?
You're going to see a gradual, right now we're at an unacceptably high level. On a daily basis, it's unacceptably high, regardless of who you are. What you're going to see as more and more people get vaccinated, and we get over 3 million people a day, you're going to see the level of infection come down, and gradually there will be more flexibility for doing the things that you're talking about.
Where does it get to? When it comes down, what number do we get our liberties back? Tell me the number.
Jordan's pushback on Fauci drew sharp criticism from Democratic Congresswoman Maxine Waters after he spoke past his allotted time and did not stop when the committee chairman asked him to.
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time.
Regular order.
No,
just a moment.
Mr. Chairman, I don't want you to answer my question. The American people want Dr. Fauci to answer the question. What does it have to be?
Sir. You need to respect the chair and shut your mouth.
The confrontation comes as elected officials and public health experts debate how quickly businesses and other parts of society can operate fully now that millions of Americans have received their vaccine.